Hey there. I wanted to make a fun little video demonstrating my use of this really interesting tool that I've been playing around with once in a while called Magpai. It's a web-based machine learning utilizing creative tool that is kind of like a node-based editor that lets you do a lot of different kinds of interesting operations to photos or video or audio or text or create images or whatever using a lot of different machine learning tools. And it's really, really easy to use. It all runs off the cloud. It uses credits, but it's pretty cheap. And it is definitely one of the more interesting machine learning related things that I have seen. I'm generally not the most excited about machine learning slash AI tools because I think a big reason is that a lot of the tools out there really offer like a very distinct lack of control over like, creating the thing that you're actually making. I feel like when I generate an image with Midjourney or whatever, for example, I don't really have my like creative input into it, and it's not really a thing that I made. And I think Magpie is an interesting step in the right direction with respect to kind of, giving us a little bit more control over this stuff. Okay, so to demonstrate, one thing that Magpie is good with is being kind of like a jam board for coming up with kind of ideas or making images or GIFs or whatever for a deck. And I had a friend who was doing a DJ set at an animation festival and needed some sort of jelly or jam donut videos generated for like the visuals for his set. So I decided to just screw around on Magpie and try like seeing what it would make. And it was pretty interesting. I think like, just giving it some prompts using the zero scope node, which generates videos of a woman squeezing a jelly donut, stock footage, HD jelly donut, smiling woman. Like it gave me this, which was very bizarre. The video generation stuff in terms of the AI tools right now, I think is kind of more interesting than some of the other stuff for me. I think partially because like also like sort of anything with, that you can make with DALL-E or Midjourney is stuff that you've kind of seen before, or that you could easily, or not easily, but you could make with, Photoshop or whatever, as opposed to like, how would you even think about making something like this, without machine learning tools? Like, this is just kind of a bizarre, thing to begin with. And the way that it's animated and all this stuff, like there's no easy way to make these kinds of videos, so I think they're kind of interesting for that reason, but that's a tangent. So, like kind of diving into some more stuff, there's like some other things that I made with prompts. Here's like chicken nugget dipping in sauce packet, HD food commercial. Also, you can generate images with Stable Diffusion and then generate like these little videos based off of those images, which is really weird as well, and like kind of a fun way to be able to generate this stuff. Obviously, the results, are not perfect or whatever, but it's pretty funny and pretty fun to just kind of screw around with. And it's really easy. You just literally can just say Stable Diffusion XL. So all these different kinds of Stable Diffusion models, type whatever you want in here, hit execute, it'll use a credit, and then I can do image to video. If I, again, either go up there or I press tab and I say image to video, and then, plug that into here and run that after. And it'll, take a little bit because all these things like take a little while to run. But yeah, here's this robot generation thing, and then I'll just run this and we can check back in on it later. But yeah, so as you can see though, it is kind of like giving me this really nice sort of like big Jamboard to just like add stuff, play with ideas, add, text prompts, sort of like whatever. So that's cool. Let's go back to the dashboard and look at some other stuff that I've been screwing around with. I made this whole sort of like Burger King beach video that's on my YouTube channel, just generating videos of like trying to be like Burger King burger at the beach. This is all using the this is all using the zero scope stuff again, and this was a while ago also, and I should note that a lot of these things have been updated since then, so that's cool. But also you can actually feed your own video into zero scope and generate videos with text and tweaks based on your input video kind of following along with it, which gives you obviously a lot of control, especially if you're an animator or a filmmaker or whatever. So I was able to kind of screw around, and it's following the motion, like it's kind of letting me do some really interesting stuff here. I think that this stuff is really cool, and like again, it's fun to just kind of jam on here. Here's like that guy being fed into this video of fisheye lens, floppy character splashing in water on the beach, blah blah blah. So yeah, let's go to the dashboard again. I made this really weird thing where basically you can feed it an image. This is a whole workflow kind of. You can feed it an image. I started doing it with this character here, and then you can generate text from that image, like a description of it, and then you can feed that into an audio generation, like text-to-speech thing.
Close-up of a cartoon character holding a bag of food. Wait, you did it. Go have a rap, incredible, or scream.
That got really messed up, as you can tell. But it's interesting. I ran this earlier on a picture of me. So it's basically what it ends up creating is it takes that, it feeds it into a animate face with audio node using this thing called Sad Talker. And then so it's basically you feed it one image, and then it will output with your whole workflow the image, as long as it's an image of like a face or whatever, describing itself as like a video. So here's what it made of me, which is hilarious and kind of offensive.
And wearing a hat, Chris Scaff, neckbeard, Twitch streamer, low quality video, Ethan Klein, Jaden Animations, Ryan Church, Brian Liam.
Anyway, you get the idea. Bizarre, but like weird, unique workflow that I was able to come up with Magpai that probably wouldn't, have existed otherwise, or you could have done, but would have been like jumping through lots of different hoops with lots of different setups and whatever. So that's cool. Also, I should show like, you can do the sort of illusion image generation that's been popular recently, where I'm feeding it, black on white stuff. And then, if you just press tab and you do control net black on white image, you just feed it that thing and then you give it a prompt, and then, it'll generate giraffes forming the text "I love pooping," or, the Eiffel Tower with "I love pooping" on it, or whatever. And in these things where you have like an image and a prompt generating stuff, you can sort of choose like how much with the control strength parameter, or with the video you can control it with like this init weight parameter that you get. So let me just go down to this one. Should have made thumbnails for all of these. But yeah, so again, here's this character dancing. And with Magpai, there's tools to trim video. And currently, maybe this is not still the case, but I think still zero scope can kind of break if you do longer than 1 second videos with it. I think it's mostly trained on 1 second videos. So I split this 10-second video up into 10 1-second videos. And then I was able to generate stuff with them, and sort of like stitch them all together and stuff. So I can join videos here. So this will take video A and video B and just kind of connect them sequentially. And then the same here. And I was able to, at the bottom, end up with this interesting video where it's kind of combining all of them together using that original kind of overall animation that I fed it in the beginning. So going back up here, that's what it was fed, and it created that crazy beach inflatable, thing that I've been loving to kind of test with. So yeah, and then like I was saying before, if you go to any of the zero scope nodes, this init weight here, this controls like how much it's weighted towards the video. The input video being 1, it'll basically just spit back out almost the same video. And then if it's 0, it'll basically ignore the video and just make something based on the text. And if it's in between, it'll do something in between. So I think 0.3 is the default for that, but yeah, it's pretty cool stuff, honestly. Going just to a few more examples. If I go to basketball deck, I was doing this basketball shoe commercial, and I was trying to come up with stuff for the deck, where I knew that there was going to be like some clothes inflating and stuff, and ended up making some weird little things for the deck, including these very bizarre like basketball generation videos that I thought were really interesting. But yeah, I can just sort of like, again, like just it's a fun place to just be like, I'm just trying to come up with ideas. I'm gonna kind of type out all my stuff, but I can also on the fly generate weird images or videos or whatever, and see if that takes me anywhere ideas wise, or gives me stuff that I can use in the deck that I'm making or whatever. And I think this is probably the last thing that I'll show is down here. This is an example of generating LoRa's. LoRa's are basically like you can create sort of a idea for an image generator to be able to understand based on giving it like a data set of images or whatever. So this is, basically just a zip file with all of this stuff, all these shoes images, and then it's creating a LoRa based on this, and then just this one thing is sort of like the stand-in for how to tell, the thing like that you're looking for, the thing that the LoRa was made with. And we were able to make a LoRa with all of my weird little like monsters that I generated making a Houdini generator. And it's pretty cool. Like it, kind of understands this idea of like what my weird auto-generated random Houdini monsters are. And you're able to like make some cool stuff with it. And Ben, who is the creator of Magpai, has been able to do a lot of other cool stuff with it. Here's some weird stuff I did with the Netflix logo, making it wet. Yeah, anyway, that's more or less the idea. I think Magpie is super cool, and I think that, other people, especially people who are interested in this machine learning stuff, should be playing with it. Yeah, give it a try if you're curious, and you can make, I don't know, like Will Smith slapping Chris Rock at the Oscars, or just mess around with some ideas, or feed it some input video and see if you can generate some cool stuff with it. I think there's lots of potential for things, and way more things beyond sort of what I've shown here. That's pretty cool. Now here's this robot video that was generated based off of that robot image we generated with Stable Diffusion earlier. But yeah, you press tab in here, there's all kinds of stuff for image, video, 3D, audio, text. It's kind of like Houdini, but for machine learning stuff, and using nodes in a super easy and accessible to use web editor. So yeah, hope this was interesting. And if you're curious about this stuff, feel free to message me. I can connect you with the Magpie team or whatever if you want to keep playing around with it and talk to them and give feedback and get other stuff implemented. Ben's been really awesome about kind of implementing updates and stuff, and I've been playing with this since it was an alpha, so it's really cool how much it's progressed, and it's really impressive stuff. So yeah, thanks for watching, and have fun playing with Magpie.